guys, welcome back to Road Talk. I know I have been off for quite some time, but I'm back here, fully energized, ready to go and talk about some One Piece for you guys today. And today, since I have been off, we're going to do 2 chapters of One Piece. And that's chapter 1017 and 1018. And if this is your first time here at Road Talk, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about anime mostly, but we also do dabble in between Twitch, and later on we will be talking about sports. So guys, it's all coming in right now, so I'm still trying to learn the process of how to do everything right now, but everything will be coming smoothly and better in the future. So guys, if you do like that content, if you're not subscribed now, please subscribe to the channel of Road Talk. Here we're going to be having fun, and I want you guys to be a part of the crew, One Piece crew. You see the new shirt my parents got me for my birthday, and got the Let's Go part. So, but guys, that's all I have right now for you. So let's get and talk about 1017 of One Piece and 1018 of One Piece. Let's go! Chapter 1017, we can see it starts at the performance floor. We have Otama. Otama's gearing up, no pun intended, Luffy, gearing up for her to start talking to all the people that she fed so she can give their commands to switch sides into the war. But in the midst of that, Queen pops up and he scares her and she almost faints. Then we get to see a little bit of a dark side of the war right now, because right now we have Jinbei versus Who's Who. We have Frankie going against a headliner, and we also have Dogstorm going against Commander right now. And it's not looking too good for them. One, because they're going up against a strong opponent, and another is that they are all also going against a lot of the foot soldiers over there. So it's like 1 versus like 100 or thousands at a time, and that's not good when you are trying to fight a headliner or a commander at that time, because you need full attention on those strong opponents. And luckily we have Otama at our side, because Otama finally gets the courage enough to step up to the plate and give her command to tell all the people that she fed to switch sides. And her power, once you feed her and they have a gifter fruit or they are already animals, they switch to the other side. You can be able to control them. You'd be able to control them, and that's exactly how Otama has turned the sides of this war. And since she did that, now everything is a little bit more even. Now Jinbei, Dogstorm, and Frankie has now a better chance to fight against their opponents at this moment. And as Otama is giving out her command to all her soldiers, because she got a lot of soldiers right now, we can see that Luffy and Momonosuke have been saved. Momonosuke is stating that he was so scared up high in the air by Shinobu, and it's showing that he has to be down on the ground if he's talking like this, because he'll be still saying that he is still scared in the sky. So curious where Momonosuke think he might be, or where he is. Could he be down on Wano, or is he still on Onishigima, or did they fly like off the island, like in a different town, maybe just where Hattori is at? And so that's just a little bit in my head, like where exactly is Momonosuke, because I still believe Momonosuke is going to have a bigger role into this war. And then we also could see Luffy has been saved by the Law of Pirates, and he's getting all the water out of them. And it's a good thing he's with them, because maybe the Law Pirates, since they are like a medical team, they can help Luffy get more healthier so he can go back and fight Kaido at that moment. And then as that also all going on, Otama is giving her orders, and everybody, all the gifters, they are so happy to be able to hear her orders and what she wants. We can see Speed that's saying, yes, finally we got the order. And we can see the sides are starting to really switch in favor. Kind of helped out the Alliance. I shouldn't say favor, but help out the Alliance side. And by the Otama do this, it wasn't something even the CP0 couldn't predict, because they was shocked about this intriguing information that they just learned as well. And who also learned this information about who Otama was is Queen. And Queen was not, he was very mad at Otama for, switching sides like that, getting all his gifters onto the other side. So he unleashes one of his attacks directed towards Otama. But luckily, we do have Sanji. I know I give Sanji a lot of crap all the time, but Sanji has been stepping up like he always does. I just don't like Sanji, but he has been stepping up because he comes in and be the gentleman that he really is, not letting no woman or kid gets attacked. And he comes in and gives Queen some kicks to the face. Big news starts to drop for this chapter because this is when some of the interesting details came out. We have Queen and Sanji is saying, "Are you a part of that insane research program that my father was in?" And then Queen says, "Oh, do you mean Mads? That was ages ago." So that shows a little bit of history of that Queen and Sanji's dad has worked together in the past on some experimental stuff. And we can see that Queen is also a cyborg because all his has beast form, his hybrid form looks at the moment right now. He has like a cyber claw. So it's very interesting of what exactly the Mad research and was Dr. Vegapunk a part of that as well too. So that's more information that we need to know about for real, Oda. Like, come on, man. You slowly dropping us dimes and gems. We just gotta pick them up and try to learn from them. But then we also can see that the fight does continue, but it breaks away. And then we can see Chopper has now, he did a Luffy. If you remember how Luffy, when he didn't master his gear third, he went to a small form, and that's exactly what Chopper did at this moment. But instead of Chopper, he's a baby geezer. That's what they call him. So he's like an old man, but in a real small form, and that's because he used that Rumble Ball that had a bad side effect and made him like that. And kind of a little prediction that I did kind of read into, because I knew Zoro had to get back into the fight, and that's why I joked around and said he needed a sensu bean or some type of sort. It's not a sensu bean that Chopper is about to give Zoro, but it is something that Chopper can give Zoro to get Zoro back into the fight right now. But the drawback would be Zoro would be in a lot of pain, 2 times as much pain that he is in right now. But we all know how much of a tank Zoro is. If you did not see back when Zoro took all the pain from Luffy, go back and watch that, because that was most biggest flex in One Piece history still to this day. So go back and watch that. And I think that's another reason why I always kind of put Zoro on top, because Zoro is my favorite character and he always be flexing on him. And that was the one key example that why Zoro is a beast. So, but guys, this is what another big news pops up, because we start to see who's who versus Jinbei. And this is what the whole community has been talking about for the last 2 weeks. It's Jinbei and who's who. And let me tell you, it just starts off what had me 2 weeks ago, had me really, when I saw this name attacked, I was like, isn't that? The attack was called Tempest Kick. Who's who kicked Jinbei with a Tempest Kick. And if you guys remember back in Enies Lobby, who was using Tempest Kick? Yeah, it was CP9. CP9 was using Tempest Kick. So that was a very intriguing info. I'm like, how does who's who know this? It still didn't dawn to me. But then as the chapter continued, you can start to see that who's who's a part of CP9 at that a while back. And he was in charge of to protect a certain devil fruit. And guess what devil fruit that was? That was Luffy's devil fruit. And he has a vendetta out on Luffy because that fruit was stolen from him. And that's kind of how the chapter was ended. And thing about it was Luffy really never stole the fruit. He got it from Shanks. So Shanks actually stole the fruit from a CP9 boat. So that is, what is that really telling us? Is Luffy's devil fruit some bigger plot and to help out the new world? or help out the world, period. I'm sorry. But what is Luffy's Devil Fruit, and how could it shape up to be so protective around the CP9, the top agent of the world government? So it really took the whole community by surprise. A lot of people liked it, and they didn't like it because, one, they were saying Luffy, it's not destiny, it's more destiny now, instead of Luffy creating his own freedom. Now they're saying that Luffy has given everything. They at first thought he had a crappy fruit that, he utilized to his best abilities. Now everybody's saying that Luffy has a devil fruit that it's basically OP broken, that if anybody had it, it would have been where Luffy is at. But I still believe that the reason why is the next chapter, what I really believe, because I know what happened next chapter. And that's when we about to get into chapter 1018 of One Piece. Let's get into that one chapter. But before I start talking about chapter 1018, I do have to get some information I forgot to mention about 1017. It is stated that Jinbei knows information about a certain CP9 subordinate that was in part of that group, was jailed and was released, escaped from jail. And that is showing a little bit more history of Jinbei as a warlord, because he knows a little bit of information of that. So it does show that he was, Who's Who was put in jail for having that devil fruit escape the CP9 and given to a pirate and stolen by a pirate, Red Hair Shanks. So, and it just shows more of Shanks is really playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. Because if Luffy does have a devil fruit that is a broken devil fruit, and why it's just wild that that Shanks might have got that. So just quick information before we jumped in 1018 of One Piece. And this chapter does not pick up where we left off with right first couple chapters. We starts off with the headliners and the Getters are still showing they are part of the samurai army, and they are clashing with their beginner army, or the army that they was with. And then we could see that Daifuku is over there doing his thing, protecting Otama and Usopp and Nami. And we also can see Speed is helping them out as well too. And then we get the little C. I'm starting to like this character a little bit more and more, because it's just like a goofy little character to me. And it's Zeus, or I don't know if he really took to that old name yet. But we have Zeus and Nami having an interaction. And Nami is stating that, hey, that power that you have, Zeus, is really remarkable. It's a really remarkable power. And he says, oh, does that mean I could be your servant again like before? And then Nami cakes him. He was like, no, absolutely not. But she was like, I'm just joking, but you can be my sidekick. And that really got Zeus all happy. I was like, yes, this is cool. So then he was like, out of the way, everybody that's on Kaido's army. I am Nami's sidekick, so get back, because I'm about to really cause some damage right there. That was just really, I don't know. I'm really feeling the vibe between Zeus and Nami. It just seems pretty cool about it. And then we get to go see CP0. And like I told you guys previously, every time CP0 is talk, you gotta listen to CP0, because they start talking about how the size of the war is switching. It is 16,000 versus 9,000 now. And previously, on the war side, it was like, I want to say it was like 30,000 to like 5,000 or something like that. It was very low, but ever since Otama made everybody on Kaido side switch sides, it's been a little bit closer, 16 versus 9,000. But what really captivated me at this moment was when CP0 says, whichever sides wins does not matter to us. It just really captivated me, because I'm thinking to myself, like, so they really wouldn't care if Luffy came on top out of all this, because that would even be, a more serious threat to the world government if Luffy beats 2 Yonkos, and he came over all these odds, and Luffy is like has King's Conqueror's Haki. So it just, why wouldn't that matter to y'all unless they really believe in that new project they've been having that's going on there, all the warlords. So that's one thing. Like, are they just flexing for no reason, or what's going on? And then they start to talk about, like I said, pay attention when they tell you this. Well, you gotta listen when the CP0 talks. They was talking about a certain man. They got to confirm and make sure he's dead. And who else could that be, guys? Who you do think they talking about? Luffy, Kaido? It has to be Who's Who, because Who's Who escaped from prison, and Who's Who is part of CP9. It's basically like the Secret Service of One Piece, and he knows so much, and he escapes prison, and he's now working with pirates. So they need to confirm that he is Who's Who, and also that he is going to die after this, because they can't have him spilling the beans about all world government secrets and everything. And Jinbei is saying, so you're saying you hold a grudge against Luffy? And he said, technically my grudge is against Red-Haired Shanks because he actually stole the fruit, but how can he not be mad when he sees Luffy with the devil fruit that caused his life so much misery? And then since Jinbei is part of the Char Hat's crew, then no other way to get retaliated to any of the crew members at that time. And yes, he'd be a target of his rage. And then we could see some of the combat between Jinbei and Who's Who, and it really is pretty interesting because so Jinbei has to dodge one of Who's Who's attacks because his color of armor was not going to be able to block it. And it has me thinking, like, is the world government of their techniques, or is that stronger than Haki? Is there a way to infuse Haki in the world government's technique, or which one's stronger, or what's the whole deal behind that? Because I always thought that Oda brought up Haki because when we was in the not Impel Down, but Water 7, and we could see how the CP9 agents used a technique that was similar to Haki. So I thought he just evolved it into Haki, but it comes to find out it's two different things. So I'm guessing right now that the world government techniques are a little bit stronger, especially since Who's Who's Fang Pistol, Jinbei has to dodge it because he wasn't able to stop it. So it's interesting to see if Luffy, maybe Zoro, or even Sanji, because Sanji has been the only person I ever seen that use CP9 or CP0s or CP9's technique. So it's just interesting. And then Who's Who came out with another attack, Fang Flash, which Jinbei did block that one. So I'm guessing it wasn't at the level of the strength. So he grabs. It was a really cool picture that Jinbei grabs Who's Who's mouth and has to open it, and then flex him and use a low tide shoulder throw. It was pretty cool. I can't wait to see that in an anime, and especially I think this is kind of the same move technique that he used on Big Mom. And then this is when more big news starts to come out. Is when Who's Who has to ask Jinbei a question about a story he heard when he was in jail, and that was somebody told him in jail that it was a story to help them to get past all the turmoil they was going with in jail. And that was a story about somebody named the Sun God Nika. And they said whoever did dream of him or believe that he exists, one day they would come and take them out of jail and bring them nothing but laughter and bring smiles upon their face. And who does that sound like? That sounds like two people, Joy Boy and Luffy. Luffy has always been a person that came to each country and liberated people and brought smiles to their face, and brought happiness and laughter to their faces. So that's one person. And then Joy Boy His name is Joy Boy. Joy Boy always brings laughter and happiness to people's has to be bring laughter and joy to people's lives. So it just foretelling, is Joy Boy, the Sun God, and Nika and Luffy all one person, or are they all three different people, or could they just be two different people, like the Sun God, Nika, and Joy Boy be one person? So it's just interesting about how more of the end game story that Oda is giving us. Can Luffy be this prophecy that everybody has been looking for? And then as Luffy is talking, as Jinbei is getting listened to by Who's Who, Jinbei starts to get a little bit upset about it, because Jinbei starts to go like a shark, more or less. And he but then Who's Who feels this, and then he still asking more questions to Jinbei. He said, a guard that once told me about this story, the Sun God Nika, later he went disappeared. And since he did disappear, that's when I realized I had to make escape too, because they was gonna come after my life too. And that sounds just like some world governments type stuff. So it was very interesting about who that guard was. Could that guard been some type of affiliation with the Jinbei's previous crews? And was that any or was that like a Revolution Army person that snuck in to help them? Well, who was that guard that was telling the people about this? So it's just a very important information that Oda's giving us, and I'm so glad that I am like learning this information about this. But nonetheless, the fight of the chapter ends when Jinbei, like I said, he was getting upset, and he said, if you're going to run your mouth about history, he said, be ready for what you're stepping into first. And then he gives Who's Who's a demon brick fist, and that's the end of the chapter. So it's a lot of things that's interesting right now with One Piece that's going on. Like Joy Boy, the Sun God Nika, and Luffy, are they all one, or could it's just amazing where this chapter is going, and it's really getting set up for the end game. And we do have a chapter coming out on July 16th, and today July 5th. So I'm be on another break if I don't make another. Just letting you know, I might be on another break until the chapter hits. I'm gonna try my hardest to get another chapter out next Sunday, because I have been off for a while. But guys, once again, this has been Road Talk. I appreciate you guys for taking out the time out your day to watch this video. It really does mean a lot, and I appreciate all the support that you guys give me out there in the world. Till next time, love y'all. Peace.